to episode 197 of the Bastiodon podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng, joined by HurricaneKaz, PP Josh, Twastell. A few days before the Atlanta Regional. How's everyone doing?
Stop. Don't. I'd like to pretend that it's not happening.
Well, I know you and Tristan are competing. The announcement went out that
No, there's so much stuff to do. I don't, and somewhere in there, I still have to get practice.
Isn't that a good thing?
So yes.
How many birds are on your team at the moment?
I don't know if you guys saw. It's
at
over
the moment just
people.
one.
That's
yes.
true. Yeah, this is the biggest regional in history to date.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, yes. Until
yeah.
next weekend.
Yeah, I mean Mexico's players are just like on another level. You know, they have much more enthusiasm for this game. But yeah, they're at like 247 or something. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Tristan?
I want to say, yeah, so I think that the Monterey Regional, which is the weekend after Atlanta, I think they're at like 250 something, like 250 or 260 registered. But Atlanta has 204 registered, which by a registration standpoint, that's the most for a Go Regional ever. Obviously,
I will say, I also know for a fact that spectator passes for Atlanta did sell out. So I do highly suspect that some people might be just buying the competitor badge for Go, like just to get in.
Yeah.
So I don't expect the actual competitors in attendance at the tables to be at 200 at this moment, but we're still a couple days away. We could have more.
Yeah.
What's the record like for players actually rocking up? Like, is there a chance that it's actually not going to be the biggest regional of all time?
I mean, I think it'll still be.
I
think Baltimore holds the record currently. 180.
None of the EU tournaments.
Something.
I mean, EUIC is the biggest. Like,
well, yeah. EUIC would never be tough for on an international.
Not counting ICE.
But I feel like there's a lot of participation on the regionals. No, for EU in the past. Even right now, too.
I don't think it's as big.
No,
Baltimore has the record.
I do know that EU had like way more average participants, at least like last year compared to us. But
I think like number of participant wise for regionals, I think the biggest, I don't know in what order, is like Liverpool, Baltimore, and Hartford are probably the three biggest regionals by like actual number of players. But I don't know the order of those, like how many they each had, but it's
actually
three, I believe
Liverpool has Dracovic says registered players 197
regional the last 2 years.
Right, but I do think that there will at this point. Yeah, at this point, I will say I do think Atlanta will be above 180 actual competitors, like at the tables, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if the Dracovic number is like actual like competitors or if it's just like people who signed up for Go, you know?
Yeah, it looks like there were 192 people with teams registered. I mean, one of the teams is like 3 Pokemon, so you know, I don't know if, but I mean, 192 still seems pretty big.
Yeah. Maybe Atlanta will be that. I don't know.
Oh, wait, 182. Sorry, 182.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, either way, Monterrey's going to top us. Top all these afterward. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the Latvian tournaments in general, especially the ones in Mexico, probably could have been way higher in the past too if they didn't have caps. Because I know like in numerous tournaments in Mexico in the past have like just straight up capped. And you know, they seem like there was way more interest for beyond that. But yeah, Tristan?
Yeah, I know that like the Niantic specials in Mexico were definitely bigger, but those were specials. So if you're going by the technicality distinction of biggest regional ever, those wouldn't be in that conversation. But Monterey is a regional the following weekend, so like I said, that's gonna break that record regardless. But yeah, definitely there's a lot of interest in LATAM, and in a lot of places they are sort of held back by the cap sometimes, and it does seem like Mexico tends to have like the biggest numbers too within LATAM.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, to further elaborate on the question that y'all asked me, I've made 3 different teams, each with a different bird. So we'll see which one I end up bringing.
Only one bird per team? No double birds?
I'm thinking about it. I'm strongly tempted. But then I always get worried. Like, no, I shouldn't.
I'm curious what the birds are. Can you type it in our chat? I'm just curious what the options are. Or if you don't mind saying it out loud. I don't know if people could like really hard time
Talon
just instead of
Flame,
Mandibuzz,
Talon
right?
Flame, Mandibuzz, and Corviknight. Those are my guesses.
Tristan wins!
Okay, I was going to say, I was like, if you count Jump Love as a bird, something's off, you know.
We'll count this as a bonus Kaz's corner. Tristan wins points.
Yeah. I will say,
got all 3, baby.
Corviknight's pretty annoying to play into at times too, especially like it's just so bulky that you can't take it out with the Drapion, and that like sand attack damage just really adds up, and with so many other stuff. It's actually, I don't know, it reminds me of kind of like old Noctowl in some ways, because there's just some matchups where like no matter what you do, you just can't flip it. So
it definitely, like, I've played with it a lot, and like it definitely feels like very Noctowl-esque. You know, like it has counters, it has weaknesses. It's not like the tankiest bird like Mandibuzz, but it definitely is annoying.
I think I saw somewhere, I think it was like Enhoff that posted, said that it actually beats Bastiodon.
Yeah, it does. It's actually wild. And I saw that. I didn't know that, but I encountered it because I did a duo stream with Telegraph Train, and I had on my team at the time, it was like Open Great League. This was last season, not of Might and Mastery, I don't think. So, but I was playing around with it. It was like my first time using it, and I ran it, and I had it on the lead, and there was a Bastiodon lead. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay here for science. And if you go into the shields, like, yeah, you actually win against the Bastiodon. It's nutty.
Yeah, there's like a breakpoint with Sand Attack, I think, because the rank 1 loses to 1 shields against Bastiodon, but the kind of default ranking on PvPoke actually ties it. And there must be some breakpoint with the Bastiodon too, because the non-rank 1 Bastiodon actually consistently wins against the rank against.
Yeah,
the
my Corviknight isn't the best, so it did not KO the Bastiodon, if I remember correctly, but I did have it like very, very low in the red by the time it got knocked out.
That's kind of nutty. Tristan?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you want to beat Bastiodon, running Payback is also better for that matchup, but I think most of the time the Ironhead Sky Tech meta is, or moveset is just better in the meta in general, but just like Sand Attack plus Payback, I think beats Bastiodon regardless, like all even shields, even if you're both rank 1.
Mm-hmm. I was facing a Corviknight the other day, and I had Claydol on my team, and I was literally yelling at my phone, like, show me Payback! Show me you have it! And they did, and I was sad.
Yeah, there are times where I'm just facing Corviknight. This is no way to have Payback. Like, all the moves, I just randomly throw it. I'm just like, what is going on?
Why?
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into some events. We'll talk more about Bastiodon, because it is actually kind of relevant for this particular week. But before we get into that, we have some new releases. We got Tinkaton making its debut, which evolves in Tinkaton. But yeah,
both.
So I guess both. But anyway, Tinkaton makes a smashing debut in the return of Pokemon Horizons. Tinkatuff? What is that? Is that the? Oh, that's the second. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that name, but
The middle one.
Yeah, three stage evolution. So it's Pokemon Horizon. Was that the anime?
Yeah, it's an anime that's on Netflix right now.
Okay. Is it only on Netflix?
I don't know.
Okay, US fans, it's on Netflix, and then it literally says in the thingo, like UK fans, you can watch it on the Search for Luck on BBC iPlayer. All right.
Oh,
shout out BBC iPlayer. But where does it say for Australian fans?
For fans in other regions, please check availability with your local providers.
With my local providers, what? I'm just going to call them up and be like, hey guys, where do I find Pokemon Horizons?
Do you use Netflix there, or what do you use?
Yeah, we've got Netflix.
Yeah, wouldn't you still be able to?
So what do you do? You just ring up Netflix? Like, what's what's a local provider these days? Like, who still uses cable television?
Nobody.
I don't know.
Old people. Like you're officially old if you still have cable.
Okay,
TV.
the crazy part is my television has like 1,000 channels now, and I don't even have cable bought. It's like weird. It's like back in the day, you have like 3 channels unless you buy cable, and now you don't buy cable, and they're just giving all this free stuff because I guess no one's watching it.
Yeah, my smart TV like will reset itself all the time, and I'll notice like a new app show up, and I'm like, "What even is this?"
Yeah.
The only thing I'm gonna watch is Netflix and YouTube. So like, get out of here.
Okay, for Australian fans in the audience, it's on Stan. So Stan,
All right.
Stans
Stan?
rise up.
Who is Stan?
It's an Australian only, like one of the many Netflixes out there.
Is it free or is it not?
No, it's paid. But I think it's I'd call it one of the big ones over here, I guess.
Do you have Stan?
Nah.
So I guess
apparently not big enough for PvP Josh.
Yeah, Josh will not be watching the new
Are you a Stan
Pokemon
stan?
Horizons Season 2.
No, Stan's here.
I know we have a couple Australian listeners. For the Aussies out there, let me know. You got Stan or no? Is this common or this is just like almost like the Hulu equivalent?
Let's get the real deal on how popular it is.
I'd call it number 3. I think it's probably Netflix, Disney Plus, Stan.
Okay.
So it really is like the Hulu of Australia.
Yeah.
But you guys don't have like Hulu or HBO?
I don't think so.
What about Amazon Prime?
Oh yeah, that exists actually. I don't know where.
I guess they don't have as many shows, but there's just like 2 shows I watch there consistently, so that's why I use it. But
I think a lot of people don't have it for the streaming service, I guess. So
yeah, fair.
I only have Amazon Prime when Rings of Power is on. That's the only thing I care about.
You don't watch The Boys?
Nah.
What about Invincible?
Nah.
I mean, I obviously don't because you say you don't watch them, but I just wanted to throw them out there.
I'm a huge comic book nerd, but and I've read both of those as comics, and I'm like, no, I don't need to see that.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Well, in a way, you're like a bigger fan than most people. All right. Anyway, Pokemon. We're tangenting off tangents. Pokemon Horizons, the series celebration event from April 16th, Wednesday, so next Wednesday, until Tuesday, April 22nd, which is a solid week, which is not bad. Mm-hmm. Pokemon debut, Tinkatink, Tinkatuff, Tinkaton. Obviously, that evolution tree in that respective order. And a new costume Pokemon will also appear during this event. Florigato wearing a hat with Lico's pin. And you could even encounter a shiny version of this. I don't even know what the heck Lico's pin is, but I know.
Well, you can see it in the preview image. It looks like a little kind of straw.
Oh, yeah.
Like a little
straw hat a little bit.
Yeah.
Like kind of like Luffy's hat in a way.
Yeah.
Not as grand actually.
I guess you'll have to check it out on Stan to find out the origins of the hat.
How is that a pin though? That's just a hat. Does pin mean a different word?
I think the hat has the little green thing that's on it. I think is the pin that the main human character wears in her hair.
No one's actually seen Pokemon Horizons, right? Okay. We're all just spitballing here, but that's fine.
I haven't watched a full episode, but I see a lot of
has,
clips online because the algorithm knows me. Just none of us.
Yeah. Wait, this is the new main character. It's no longer Ash Ketchum, right?
Yeah.
What's their name?
It says it on the thingy.
I don't know if Lico's the main character or not. That could have been just the Misty or Brock of the season too.
Yeah, no.
Okay, it's Lico. Gotcha. Okay, you can use 25 Tink candy to evolve Tinkaton, Tink and Tinkatuff, and the 100 into Tinkaton, which is what it is. You can't get shiny of these though, so just keep that in mind. Just Florigato with the Lico pin. Random things hatch from 7-kilometer eggs. Charcadet is probably the most interesting one in Tinkatink, but are the Tinkatink spawning in the wild?
Egg locked,
dude.
I was gonna say they're in these egg lists are for the 7-kilometer eggs specifically, and it says after the event ends, Tinkatink may hatch from 10-kilometer eggs. So this is your chance to get it for less walking, I guess.
Bro.
True.
Okay. Tristan?
I'm telling you guys, everything that has an ounce of potential for PvP gets thrown in either eggs or raids only. It's just like a recurring trend at this point.
That seems to be the
Rookity-
trend.
Rookity,
But I also wanted to mention
Rookity, I'll give it to
something that
them
I
though.
find-
Yeah.
Right, but we haven't seen Rookity since. But I was gonna say
Go
a
ahead,
funny little tidbit. Actually, speaking
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Rookity, is that in the lore, like I think like in even the Pokédex entry, Tinkaton is supposed to be like a hunter of Corviknight. But the funny thing is, if you look at like the moveset that Corviknight gets, and then the possible movesets for Tinkaton, Corviknight beats Tinkaton pretty reliably against basically any of the viable movesets Tinkaton could get. So it's like super funny that in the lore it's supposed to be a Corviknight hunter, but in Go it's just gonna lose all the time.
This is
I
one
found
where the
that pretty
Pokedex
amusing and
has failed
ironic.
all of us.
That is pretty funny.
What else is like that? Is Zangoose and Seviper like that a bit? Because Zangoose is kind of like a mongoose that
They're-
hunts like
they've got that
Yeah.
snakes,
lore.
right?
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, they're paired up and they both sort of, I think, hunt each other.
But in
But,
the
like-
wild, though, a snake wouldn't hunt a mongoose, right?
No, they're just sort of like nemesis. You know, like they just sort of will kill each
they're
other
like
if they run
rivals
into
or
each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was there an event like that in Pokemon Go recently?
Well, there was, yeah, but I would just I would just think about other potential situations where it's like kind of flipped. But okay, so event bonuses: Team Rocket Go balloons will appear more frequently. You can't TM frustration often in this event, but still more rockets. So maybe there should be one like sometime down the road in this season. 1/2 egg hatch distance when eggs are placed in the incubators in this event, and the increased chance to encounter Shiny Pichu wearing Cap's hat and Shiny Florigato wearing Lico's pin. We see the Cap's hat as well too. It looks like a kind of like a almost like a captain like of
We
a
have-
ship Pikachu.
Yeah, we have had this one in the past because I actually have a shiny Pikachu wearing this hat.
Oh, okay.
I think because this is like a new season of Pokemon Horizons, I think there was an earlier season that they also did like a similar event for.
Yeah.
But Florigato will be spawning in the wild. That's kind of cool. Just a little bit of extra dust for the middle evolution.
Yeah. This event avatar pose is pretty nuts. It's like the avatar just throwing down a whole hammer. But yeah, Tristan, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the other thing is like for PvPers, you're gonna want to try to get hatching those eggs because you're gonna need the XLs. I believe Ultra League Tinkaton I think might be a fully XL build, and then technically there's also Great League Tinkatuff gets to like basically the same bulk in Great League as Tinkaton, but it's like I think a fully or almost fully XL as well. That one might be a little bit worse depending on what moveset it gets, but like if it has a similar moveset or the same moveset as Tinkaton, then like there's some potential for like ABB shenanigans in GBL and stuff because they would have like the same stats, same typing, same moves potentially. So we'll have to wait and see what moves they get, but yeah, you're gonna need a lot of XLs potentially between the Great League middle evolution and then the Ultra League one.
Yeah. Let me look at Tinkaton if it was Ultra League. Yeah, the rank 1 is 13, 15, 15 at 49.5, like level 49.5, which is not I mean in some ways it's not the worst case scenario because you could just lucky trade for them and it'll be most of them will be PvP relevant, but it does take a lot of XL, so
Right.
that is something. And then Tinkatuff,
Well,
oh yeah, the
and
rank
you
1
could
is
even
just a
hatch the
hundo.
rank 1 from eggs.
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
the Ultra League 1 you could even get lucky and hatch
Honestly,
the rank 1, which is a good thing.
let me look at the movesets too. I mean, the moveset right now is Fairwind, Playrough, Flash Cannon for the Tinkatuff, which is not bad. And then Tinkaton, it's Fairy Wind, Bulldoze, Heavy Slam, which is also quite nice. And then you can also learn Play Rough and Flash Cannon. I think Tinkaton's probably going to be more meta relevant for sure. But those movesets are pretty solid in terms of like providing it with coverage and stuff. It just, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of Galarian Weezing in a way, in the sense that like you might not even run the Fairy moveset for the charge attack, but it's still like really strong.
How is it like bulk wise?
Good question. So let me look at in Great League. Let me compare to Swampert. Well, it's bulkier than Swampert, so we have to go up from that.
Oh, it's way bulkier than
Lapras. It's similar to Lapras. It's got more
Okay.
defense, but less HP than Lapras, and about the same attack. So it'll probably feel a little bit like a Lapras. And then in Ultra League, well, I mean, let me just compare it to a Lapras in Ultra League, I guess. Okay, it's way less than Lapras in Ultra League. But Giratina? No, Giratina is way too bulky. What the heck? What's something less bulky than Giratina? Licky Licky?
A lot of things.
A lot of things.
It's
Most
no,
of
it's still a little
Ultra
less bulky than Licky Licky. Talonflame. It's bulkier than Talonflame. I don't know. It's a little bit less
Caleb,
bulky than a
you know,
Licky.
Caleb, you can, if you go on PV Poke
Yeah,
under rankings, you can go to like Ultra League, and then you can sort by stat product. And then
I was just putting
scroll
it
down
into
until
the
you
simulator,
get to,
but
like, the number range. Well, but if
that
you look at the simulator
is
first and see
true.
what
We can
stat
do
product
that.
it has, then you can sort by rankings and just scroll down to the number you're looking for.
Yeah. It's not in the actual rankings at the moment, but I could just find it based on the actual rankings.
Yeah, true. It
itself,
isn't there.
But I could just find the number, I guess. So if I were to look at a Tinkaton rank 1, 4429. 4429. So that is most similar to a Shadow Credilli. Or actually just regular Credilli in general too. It's the same stat product, same, just shifted around. But yeah, so it's similar to
It looks
Credilli
pretty
in
close
Ultra
to
League.
like Greedent as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like Ferrothorn,
Greedent,
Cradilly, Snorlax, Stunfisk, Greedent range, right around there. So that's
Yeah,
decent
Stunfisk just
bulk.
feels stupid bulky in Ultra League because of the typing, but stat product's not maybe as high as one would think. But okay, well, I mean, definitely still an event worth grinding. Is it like the Enderworld that's in eggs? Probably not. It is kind of annoying, but I feel like for a part of it, Niantic just feels like they had to kind of control some of the content churning out. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it. Like, obviously, I think it'd be much better if it spawned in the wild, but for a week-long event with half egg hatch distance, it's not the worst. It is probably like a slight way for them to make some extra money off the event, but
All right, Rick, come back to this statement in a week when Caleb is complaining about not having a Tinkaton yet.
I will probably try to hatch these because it looks like it's pretty busted in Ultra League, and I do need to have a strong Ultra League roster for my Grassroots Battle Frontier.
It has a really good
all other
typing.
Ultra League shenanigans. Yeah. Yeah, because Maul Ball is not really relevant in Ultra League, so you can't really get that same typing elsewhere.
Honestly, I just like when things are in the wild, not even from just like you can get better stats sort of perspective. It's just genuinely easier and more fun to just like go out looking for things rather than like waiting for eggs to hatch. And I walk like 10 miles a day pretty regularly. So like I do hatch eggs, but like even I get really impatient. Like, oh my God, again.
Yeah.
I mean, Tristan said that last week, right? In that, like, if an event is sort of built around eggs, then you're just like, the gameplay loop is you spin a Pokestop and you walk, and that is the gameplay. And obviously, you know, I guess there's a Pikachu and a Florigato this time to give you some extra stuff to do, but still.
Just sort of
not the most
boring.
engaging feature.
Yeah. So just it just creates more accessibility issues, unfortunately. But what else is new? Anyway, let's take a look at the next event. It is Sparring Partners. So this one is coming up. It's in the middle of that event. It's just Sunday, April 13th.
Is it in the middle or is it before? Because it's...
Oh, sorry. It's It's before, yeah. It's before.
Yeah.
It's this upcoming Sunday.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Sparring Partners raid day. So this Sunday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., which will be during the Atlanta Regional. So I might hop in a raid or two between my casting, but maybe mid cast if I could just get in there. I don't tap though. I just like hop in. And I'm just like, I remember someone was like, "Wait, you're in a raid?" I was like, "Well, I'm not actually tapping. I just like hop in."
Yeah, I'm just sort of in there.
You
I'm
all
not
carry me.
participating.
Yeah, if I have top damage, that's a different story, But okay, so following Pokemon will be in raids, Mega Heracross, and then we have Hariyama and Scraggy appearing more frequently in raids as well. All of them can be shiny. Obviously, these aren't new shinies, but starting with the event and continuing after, feature Pokemon will learn the Charge Attack Upper Hand. 70 power and a chance to lower the opposing Pokemon's defense by 1 stage, and 50 power for gyms and raids. This is probably gonna be this is a fighting move, right?
Well, has anyone checked that these Pokemon actually learn these moves?
Nope.
Well, which ones?
One would hope.
Just so we avoid another scenario of
Well, it just
sorry, we can't give Ordino.
yeah, like the Ordino thing. Yeah. Heracross, Hariyama, and Scraggy are probably the evolution lines that get it. Which none of them are super relevant. I don't know if it'll make any of them relevant, but Heracross could be pretty nutty because Mega Heracross, I know in Battle Frontier, just looks disgustingly strong. So it could.
But we can't. Well, I mean, we're not currently allowed to use megas, but they have.
Well, just in Battle Frontier, yeah, just in grassroots stuff.
No, I know. Well, we're not in the current metas, but maybe in a future season. Or
in Master League, you can't.
Wait, what in Master League?
In Master League, you can leave one.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were talking about Ultra League.
Oh no. I haven't touched it in Ultra League, but Master League, yeah. Event bonuses, you get remote raids increased to 20 from the Saturday
I've seen
to Sunday.
People using like Mega Medicham, and I know like Mega Gyarados is eligible and stuff. Not that they're the best.
I guess Heracross technically is eligible. It's got.
I thought we weren't allowed to use them.
No, Mega Medicham I've seen actually in Battle Frontier.
Interesting.
Let me see if I can sort
quite
by
a
Mega.
lot. I don't know why people are using it over Gallade, but it's there.
Heracross is not eligible, I think, for some reason, but you could use like Slowbro, Kangaskhan, Bombstomp, Beedrill, Pinsir, stuff like that. So
I have not seen anybody using a single one. So
I've only seen a Mega Medicham once, and they didn't even bring it because it was too hard to bring into my team. But I know Accent used Mega Medicham a couple of weeks too. I know that because I looked at his player history because I'm facing him this week, so that's why. Okay. Anyway, so Sparring Partners event, you also receive 5 additional raid passes for spinning photo disc, and then you have an increased chance of encountering shiny Heracross, Hariyama, Scraggy from raids. Okay, that's pretty dope. And then there's
just gonna be doing those Scraggy raids.
There's an event ticket. Well, Scraggy spawned in the wild for regionals, right?
Do they this season?
I think they do, which means you probably have a higher.
It's been a while since Louisville, so
no, it's totally fine. Yeah, Tristan.
Wait, so just to clarify, only Scraggy is getting the move, right? Not Scrafty, according to the blog post?
No, all of them.
All of them.
The featured Pokemon will be able to learn them.
Or just Scraggy.
I see the point. Yep, I see. Good question, actually.
Well, Scraggy is the only one that still evolves, because like Hariyama is the evolution, right?
Yeah. So like big Heracross makes sense, big Hariyama makes sense.
Why,
but
it's just
Scraggy, I did check.
They're featuring Scraggy.
Yeah. I guess so they all do have the move, and I saw that both Scraggy and Scrafty have access to it. So like it's not like Scraggy can't use it. So I don't know. I mean, I guess they don't need to give Scrafty a buff. I guess.
But I guess that's the question is like, will it retain the move if you evolve it, or would you have to like TM it? Or
well, I mean, hopefully you could TM it, right? But yeah.
I mean, based on the way it's worded, I don't think
we'll find out together.
Has the move at all. And wait,
yeah,
did they
that would
say
be
these are going to
my
be like
read of it.
elite TMable moves or regular TMable moves after the event? What was
It doesn't
It
say, but again,
does
you
not
know,
say.
we've had that before as well. So Absol,
Yeah.
Brutal Swing. We'll find out.
Right
At this
now,
point,
it just
says
says
no.
Yeah, right now it just says these featured Pokemon.
Yeah.
Word for word.
Well, I guess it could go back on it too, but I don't know why Scraggy would need a significant buff. But let's hope that Scrafty is too. We'll see though. I guess they technically wouldn't be like, lying about anything if it just goes to Scraggy. But it'd be a little bit weird. We don't even know if the move's good or not, so we'll see on that as well. But that pretty much does for our event. Why is Great League Xerneas in the show in the agenda? Is that anything relevant? No,
because that's a new
Okay.
thing that we have in Go now.
Oh, we do. Wait, with
Yeah, people
which
on
event?
What?
the April pass. The April pass. It's there's a level 15.
The thing that Steve has?
Oh, wait, really?
It's level 15?
Yeah, the thing that Steve
They
has
actually
that
gave it to
that
us?
the US doesn't have. Yeah, level 15. Yeah.
Okay, I'm playing this game.
Wait. No, Steve, how many levels have you
What are you at
increased
right
since
now?
we recorded last week?
I'm loading it up. I have missed
Not a
the
lot.
daily task multiple times. And I know it hasn't been that many days, but you accidentally tick a lot of the weekly ones, so it goes up anyway. Man, this game takes so long to load. Australian internet, am I right? Okay, here we go.
Let's just watch something on Stan real quick.
I'm currently at tier 32. I'm a legend. And
Okay,
so the
okay.
Xerneas is down at like the 90
100,
somethings.
I think.
Nah, 100. Oh yeah, 100. Okay,
Yeah.
I have to get to
I think
100.
it's at 100. I think it's
Is
the
it-
same. I think it's the same level as the
Get
Lucky
to 100
Trinket,
by the time we're done
but
recording.
like on the free track.
Yeah, okay.
No, because there's a daily cap on how much you can
I've
progress.
got some work to do. Yeah. Okay. Well, screw you guys.
Wait,
I'm going
so
to be
what
catching
are you at
15
right now?
Pokemon during this recording. Like 32. I can't get there.
You can't do
anytime
that.
soon. But
Mm-mm.
what? Don't tell me what I can't do.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
I can believe in myself.
Yeah. Is it banned in official tournaments or no?
Not now. Like,
Okay, so I guess there's a small chance we could see.
I mean,
Xerneas
we don't know. It
in-
That's
literally
pretty
just
tiny
like the
chance,
first
but,
I saw of it was a couple hours
World's
ago.
smallest chance.
Well, no, 'cause if it
Unless
just released,
I,
today,
last
then
minute
it
sign up
wouldn't
to
be
Atlanta.
eligible until Tuesday. But there's the.
But
the,
is
the
it-
whole Tuesday
No, it came out like a week
eligibility
ago, right?
thingy.
Like,
Well,
it's not
so-
new.
I don't think. You
Yeah,
could
that's what I'm
actually
saying. It's not a
get that
new
far.
Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Well, no. So I guess the question is regarding the rules. Is it only new Pokemon / Pokemon that have gotten new moves, right? Because this is not a new Pokemon. It's just newly eligible for Great League, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the rules explicitly state. Not that I expect to see any in Atlanta
No.
or anything like that, but I'm genuinely curious, right? Like, let's say if we get like a Great League eligible Zacian all of a sudden, can you use it right away or not? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do the rules stipulate that it's a new Pokemon or like a newly updated move? Whereas like it's really neither of those. It's just a Pokemon that wasn't.
If I
previously
look
eligible.
if we look at kind of the way that they've treated both new Pokemon and like newly eligible stuff in the past, I want to say that like if the Pokemon is just like of itself is now available for a league, I think that's legal. I
Yeah.
think that most of the restrictions apply to new Pokemon that have limited release in some way, so they're not available for everyone immediately, and Pokemon that like had access to a new move are restricted. So just Xerneas as it is with no move updates or anything, like I would think that would be allowed.
Yeah,
But-
I would assume so. But also,
But
there's
we
the,
won't.
I guess,
But we
technicality
won't
part of
see
it.
one.
Of like, does it count as released if like it is in a 100 tier ticket that you can't there's a certain day that mathematically you can only get it from this day. So like is it the first Tuesday of post the start of April that it's eligible, even though no one could possibly have it yet? Or do they, try and math it out of it's questions that haven't been tested. I don't think it's relevant to this, Xerneas. I don't think. And again, we're very, 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 very unlikely to have anyone testing the limits. I will if I was in a scenario, actually, I've got a local this weekend. Oh, but I'm not going to get Xerneas in time.
No, you will not.
I would run it. I will run it if I get it. Let me put it that way.
It's also not particularly good.
All right. Caleb's bet senses activated, I feel like.
I'll let you decide on the terms of that one. Okay.
Dear.
Well, anyway, so that's I guess something of note. I don't think it'll be relevant honestly,
No.
but that is what it is. Okay, there's no Kaz Corner this
It's not
week and no
particularly good,
jingles
but it
because we
exists.
felt we're behind at the jingles, but and then we're just gonna skip Kaz Corner this week. There's a lot going on in preparation for Atlanta.
Too much.
That's okay. We have Go Battle League. Anything crazy? Anything happening wild besides like
Spring
Spring
Cup
Cup feeling a little bit RPS?
A little bit.
I don't know. People said this. I don't know. And I said this about Scroll Cup too. People complained about it being RPS, but I don't really feel like it is just yet.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, Kaz.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty solidly neutral right now. I mean, because you have bad matchups that can still be flipped, like in different scenarios, like a Jellicent on a Ferrothorn.
Okay, well,
Like
let
that,
me put it
you
this
know?
way, Kaz. I actually think that it's not so much that it is RPS for most Pokemon in the meta. There are a few Pokemon that you can use that aren't RPS-y. So like Galarian Weezing, for example, has a lot of counter play sort of around the board, a lot of neutral play. But then you're just sort of forced to use Galarian Weezing. So I think that most Pokemon are going to be pretty RPS-y. But Tristan?
Steve says it's not RPS, but that's just because his opponents are RPSing themselves and swapping Quillfish into Jellicents.
Based on a true story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I've heard some
dislike
people
the
talking
meta,
about
but
stuff like Lavani and Amoonguss being good. I haven't played it yet myself, but I've heard some people talking about like stuff like Lavani and Amoonguss.
I have
potentially
not
being
seen-
interesting.
I have not seen a Lavani yet. I have seen a couple Among Us. I mean, it's just like, it's nice to have kind of a bulky grass, that has actual good coverage for other grasses. And neutral coverage for a lot of other things. But yeah, I haven't seen a single Lavani. I saw a Cherim today.
Yeah,
I was like,
saw one.
what is this Pokemon? I've not seen this Pokemon in 1,000 years.
I assume it's just for Fire Weather Ball for access, for Ferrothorn. I assume that's kind of the main.
It had Weather Ball, the Fire Weather Ball, and then Dazzling Gleam. And I was like, but why though?
Yeah, you're not hitting anything super effective, that's for sure.
Yeah. I was trying some RPS stuff, and funny enough, I got RPS a lot. So
Really?
I was like,
how the
Fire Fang
turntables
user.
have turned.
I was like, I really need a fight for switch advantage here. I was like, wait, why can't I paste any moves? It's all fast attack damage.
Yeah, as I said, I think it depends on what Pokemon you pick.
Yeah. Well, I made adjustments, so we'll see how it goes. We've had our first legend since last week, right?
Yeah,
Crescent
we've
Angels.
had a few.
I don't. So and last week too, I know a lot of people were running Crescent Angels Team Great League. I think it was like a Shadow Dragonite, Alolan Sandslash, and a Jellicent and Great League in the back. And I was trying to counter it. Yeah, I was trying to counter. Ooh, I found a Gossiflor. What the heck? This is new.
Yeah, oh yeah,
right. I
just
clearly did not open my game today until now. But
it was actually my daily spawn when I did open the game. Was a new Pokemon.
Same.
I was like, well, that's nice.
Oh, it's kind of cute. It's a lot bigger than I thought. But a lot of people were trying to I was like, oh, 5-head play. I'm going to build a team that hard counters that team because everyone's going to be running it. dude, everyone I faced was doing the same thing. But like other people I was talking to, they were saying everyone's running Crescent Angels team. So I'm like, okay, I like this is easy, right? Easy low. And I still gained stuff, right? But it was just not what I expected. Like I just kept running to like Galarian Weezing leads and stuff. Because everyone's trying to like catch that Dragonite in the lead. But anyway, big congrats to him. Always very consistent on the grind. And then we had like a couple other people hit Legend afterward too. So I for one am not there yet. 2776.
Does everyone have Elo?
Yeah. Same Elo actually. 2776.
Oh, pretty good. Maybe we should have made a bet, we could have teamed up again. For once, you might be able to carry me.
Nah, I just hit my Elo yesterday.
Gotcha. Well, if anyone wants a fun team to try, I was running Tropius, which sounds awful. Tropius, Jellicent, and Gastrodon. Gastrodon I feel like is super underrated in this cup because it's ranked like above 100 something in the ranking, so people probably don't realize it, but it's like the perfect mud slapper to like counter any Galarian Weezing or Klefki or Mawile safe swaps. So
I've heard people talking about Klefki, but I haven't seen one yet.
I've seen a couple. A lot of times they have a Klefki and a safe swap, and then they have a Mawile on the back. Because what they do is people see the typing and think it's Mawile, so they come in Jellicent. But Klefki's got Astonish and just completely screws you over.
Yeah.
I will say though,
most people don't have it.
Yeah, that's true.
I have exactly one that I managed to get, and I don't even think it's very good, so I'm not gonna like build it for just one cup.
I will say one Pokemon that's hot garbage, even though I did lose to it, is Shadow Cacturn. Dude, that thing can't tank nothing. My Gastrodon's being a couple of them.
Yeah,
I'm just like, dude, what? I know I saw a couple of you running into, and like I definitely lost to a couple as well, but like they just like RPS me, but they still struggle to take out my Gastrodon. Even I was like, dude, like this thing's not it. I have a good one too that I can make, but I just don't think it's worth. But
one of my locals runs Shadow Cacturn, like in locals, Nautical shout out. It can go off, but pretty specific circumstances.
Yeah. Sucker Punch with Trailblaze Dynamic Punch. It feels like it takes forever to get to moves too.
Yeah. I've seen a few of them like in Open Great League, and I'm like, but why though?
You're about to see some in Spring Cup. I mean, I will say, I don't think it's
Who lost a bet? Who lost the bet?
Well, David Pebble apparently did recently. So there's that.
You know.
Yeah. All right, let's head over to Championship Series because we have a lot to discuss here. We have, this is a cool one. The India qualifiers did happen.
Well, the India playoffs, because
the playoffs, I mean, it's technically still the qualifiers too, but the playoffs of the qualifier, right?
I hate the naming convention, but that's
it's so confusing.
But anyway, Master Me here 295 won it all with a freaking Bastiodon, which is nuts. But I will say, because one of my patrons is going to Atlanta for the regionals, and I was doing some scrims with him. And so I was just testing a bunch of stuff. So I ran that team. I was like, let's see how we can do Bastiodon. Dude, Bastiodon actually feels super safe. Like, especially if you don't have a fighter.
And this is why I can't run double flyers, Caleb. Because of people like you.
Corviknight's fine. Corviknight's not going to lose. Yeah.
My Corviknight doesn't beat it. We've already talked about this.
As long as you don't get walled off by it, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But, perfect ABB line, Corviknight safe swap, jump up in the back, or Talonflame in the back, right? That's double birds. You can't jump off, not a bird. But in a meta where jump off is pretty relevant, especially when they're running double fly moveset, it's super nice. And it just felt super safe. There's a lot of lappers around too. And they nerf Smackdown, but it still does a good chunk of damage, And so most teams I see have one, maybe two counters to it. That's it. And so I actually think I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would use it personally. I would probably give it a shot and see and put it through the test. But I do think it's quite good. And I know Steve called this out early.
Mm-hmm. I've been talking about this for a month.
You can share that story if you want.
Yeah, sure. So 20 Butters was hosting this sort of panel discussion. He brought on a lot of, good battlers. And then also I was there. I'm not really sure why I was there, but hey, I'll take the invite. And so essentially it was the start of the
have this insight without you.
That's true. This wouldn't have come up. So, they should be grateful. No, but there was this discussion at the start of the Might and Mastery season, sort of predicting what was going to be good, how the meta was going to unfold through the Play Pokemon series, especially. And everyone obviously brought up all of the big Pokemon that were going to be good. There was some debate as to whether Azu Drapion was going to be good. I'm on the right side of history on that one. But at the very tail end of the stream, I was like, hey guys, just a rogue thought, looking at all of these Pokemon that we said are going to be good in the Might and Mastery season. I think Bastiodon could actually be legit. And, obviously universal groans like, oh, shut up. No one, you're talking absolute nonsense. And I was sitting there like, I don't know, man. It could kind of be good.
These dang
1 month later. yeah, that was Holmes Last Henry said that. But, it's legit, man. India just won with Bastiodon. So shout out Master Mahir. I know that he's sending the footage to fellow Aussie Mikey Morgs. So I look forward to sort of seeing that Basti in action.
That is the only Bastiodon, though.
Yeah, because no one else reads it. Like everyone's so dismissive, man. But it's actually legit. It's the same thing as like. I don't know if it was
Talonflame, but he was worried about being too weak to Carbink, so he switched it to Bastiodon.
Yeah, because Beelzeboy ran the Carbink, right? And
yeah,
obviously, like I don't know if like necessarily bring one Pokemon just for one potential matchup, one person playing is notable, but Beelzeboy's pretty freaking good. So I don't think that was necessarily a bad idea, and hopefully it paid off in the rest of the matches too. Did you see any of the battles by chance, Steve?
I've seen, so I saw the qualifier ones of Master Mahir, but
he didn't have Bastion back then, right?
He didn't have Bastion back then, but he did, like, I think his one loss in the tournament was to Beelzeboy. So it was kind of like...
Did Beelzeboy have Carbink back then, or he just got like...
Yeah, he was running Carbink. Okay. So it was very... He was telling Mikey Morgs, even going into the tournament, like, the biggest threat is Beelzeboy. So he was very cognizant of Beelzeboy. But I haven't seen any of the playoff battles yet. So I know that I think Nava Empire's sending his battles to Mikey as well. I think he also sent them to Home Slice Henry. So looking forward to sort of seeing the battles unfold over the next few days. But I wanted to know how often he brought the Basti, because it looks legit into a lot of the teams, to be honest.
It does, yeah. And again, like having played it, like it didn't feel like just bench pressure when I was bringing it into some of the games versus my Patreon. Like I think I brought it into like almost every game, because it was just like, it's pretty safe outside of like this one like ground type. Yeah. Tristan?
Yeah, I was gonna say, when Steve said that on the stream, I was like, I hate that you're saying this, but I could see you being right, because like I do think that the meta has sort of shifted. Like Lapras being popular is good for Bastiodon, and then you have a bunch of like poison types, some fire types, like flying. Like there's a lot of Bastiodon targets, while I think that both ground and fighting has become less popular. Like there's a lot of teams that don't have a fighter or don't have a ground. Some teams that don't have either. Like, so Bastiodon does have a lot of play.
Yeah, because I brought
a lot of teams for sure.
I brought Annihilate to a local and like didn't use it at all. I just felt like I was playing with 5 Pokemon.
Yeah, like the meta
never felt like.
Yeah, the meta is pretty tough to bring fighters a lot of the time, but sometimes you still need them for coverage into like the Bastiodon, but more relevantly like the Lapras, the Cradily, the Pangoro potentially. So it's there.
I mean, to be fair, Annihilate has won a few tournaments. It won Stockholm. It's won.
Yeah, for sure. But like sometimes there's some matchups where it just feels so hard to bring anyways.
Yeah. Well, there's no fighter in the top 12 of this India playoff usage. So,
dude, that's Bastion's feasting. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's so rough because there's so much jump bluff around, and even like the Lapras is pretty annoying for fighters. Like Shadow Annihilate, sure, like you counter through a bit, but for the other matchups, like it's just tough, right? And if you look at Master Mahir's team, like you're not bringing Annihilate into this. You got Jump Bluff, you got Shadow Sableye, you got Claydol, And then even Guzzlord, like Guzzlord and Lapras, if you safe swap and you bring in Ninelave, it's super annoying. You just still have the shield. So, but to be fair, like nothing could really eat that energy very easily on Mihir's team either. So it might not be that bad. But like you got the shield, even the Guzzlord matchup, which is kind of weird. So, I think it's a well built team. So looking forward to seeing him at Worlds.
Yeah.
Hopefully India does need visas, right, to go to US. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully there aren't any visa issues. That's like always like the most unfortunate part is when there's players that really good players that qualify and they just can't go because of visa issues. So we'll have our fingers crossed for me here and others.
Yeah, I will
I know
say
BLC
the
boy's going
one
to.
positive this year. The one positive this year is I saw within like the TPC qualifier rules that they have like a pass down method. I think there's a certain like time frame it has to happen within, but they actually have a clause in their rules that like if someone can't go, the invite can pass down. But like I don't know how the time frame works with visas. Like maybe by the time you get a final rejection on your visa, it might be too late to pass that down. But in theory, the pass down system in general should hopefully help there be more representation from all the TPC markets. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope so too. I've seen on social media a lot of people already kind of getting their visas lined up, which is really nice. I think that the problems in the past have led a lot of people to be a little more proactive this year, which is really good to see.
That reminds me, I've got to check mine. I mean, mine's pretty quick and easy, to be fair, but still.
Yeah.
The Australia visa process is, I mean, it's straightforward, but it is a process too. From US to Australia, I remember I was filling out like multiple pages of forms online. But, luckily, it was all digital, so it's much easier, and hopefully, it's not as hard the other way around. But
yeah.
Wait, so how many qualify for Worlds?
4.
Right? Is it top
Four.
Okay, top 4, and then we need Nava Empire there ASAP. Because I need to see that action. I think I was talking to Anacor about this like a few weeks ago or a few months ago. I was like, dude, like I hope Nava Empire qualifies this year and goes because you've been hyping him up for over a year now, so we need to see him in action.
Yeah,
but
so actually, I don't know. I don't think I mentioned this the other week, but in the lead up to the India qualifiers, the first stage, Mikey Morgs, Nostradamus, he messaged 2 Indian battlers in advance, being like, "Hey, like after your battles, can you send me the footage?" Master Mihir, Nava Empire, they came first and second in their qualifier. And then in the playoffs, they came first and third in like the overall thingo. Only 2 people he messaged, and they crushed. So shout out.
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
That's
wild.
Yeah, pretty nuts. Okay, well we'll see.
So
Hopefully,
do we want
we'll
to
get
cover
some
the top 4
and then
real
Beals
quick?
Boy.
Who qualified and what they ran?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Massimo here, Lapras, Shao Jumplove, Bastion, Shao Sableye, Claydol, Guzzlord, and then Dane Slave ran Azumarill, Manabuzz, Credilli, Malamar, Clot Siren, Alone Sandslash. Literally no repeats between the first and second, which is kind of nuts. Now Vampire, Azumarill, non-Shadow Jumplove, Furret, Shadow Sableye, Clodsire, and Alone Sandslash. Furret's a weird one. I've tried it in some scrims. It doesn't feel that good, but maybe I'm just not playing it right, or I don't know the matchups very well. But I tried playing it. It felt weird, really weird.
A lot of people were talking about it at the local events that I went to over the weekend. Some people are kind of predicting it to be maybe a sleeper pick in Atlanta. So we'll
I'm
see.
definitely sleeping on it for sure. I'm hibernating on it because I feel
if people are gonna get more practice. Because it's one. I don't know. To me, it feels and looks on paper kind of similar to Swalot does. It's like not the greatest. Like it doesn't have a really strong like scorecard in and of itself, but it's really good at just being neutral.
Yeah, but Swallow I get, right? Because it could beat the grass and it beats Azumarill without having to spend a shield.
It has targets.
Yeah, it has targets, right? All the grass types. It's anti-fighter in a way too. First, a weird one. Okay, so I'm very curious, right? If Nava Empire ends up sharing this, I'd be curious to hear why. Because I can see why if you have Furrets, because it's a really good counter swap to safe swap. But his team is not weak to Sableye. He got Jump Up, Azumarill, Furret, his own Sableye, Clodsire, and Alone Sandslash. None of them are really lose to Sableye that hard or even lose to Sableye. So it's what I'm wondering is what was the first target? Like what was it trying to do? Maybe it's got an okay matchup into Annihilate, and you can
it's
safe
not a
swap it
bad
and have a lone Sandslash
generalist.
tucked in the back.
Lapras.
It's just not a good generalist. I feel like like I okay, yeah. I don't know. Does it even beat Lapras consistently? I feel like Lapras will win the zeros. Like you just get the 2 Sparkle and Aria, right? You don't even resist the side wave. Like at that point, why not just run like a Malamar or something else? I don't know. I'm very curious. I don't think it's like, even if you use it as generalist, I don't think it's, maybe it's not a bad generalist, but I don't think it's a good generalist.
Yeah. Sparrow loses Lapras zeros, wins 1s and 2s.
Yeah, but at that point, why not just run a Malamar? I don't know. I mean, I guess you're slightly better into a Zimro, but I mean, you already have Jump Love, Clodsire, Alone Sand. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean,
we don't know the Clodsire moveset,
like again. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I know a lot of people are running Stone Rush these days. Fake Soul was the fourth rounded out. Ran Azumarill, Talonflame, Cordeli, Shadow Sableye, Swallow, and Guzzlord. And the Beelzy Boy, since he is still going to Worlds as well, he didn't make top 4, but still did top 17 to 24th. Lapras, Jumpluff, Medicham, Shadow Sableye, Diggersby, and Carping. Pretty interesting team, actually, on his end, too. Actually, Carping, I do think is a pretty strong pick as well, just like Bastiodon, because you have double flying Jump Love. So the grass is not even a counter anymore, right? And you just need to watch out for Clodsire, but you have Diggersby, you have Lapras, Sableye to a degree, right? So it's a cool looking team too. But yeah. But anyway, great stuff from our Indian battlers. Excited to see what they bring to the table in August in Anaheim. Yeah. That being said, we have another qualifier. This one's just a qualifier. It's not the playoffs yet. It's the South Korea regional qualifiers. Dracovis people, I got a little bone to pick with you all. Very confusing graphic here because you have a first, second, third, and fourth on the graphic. True, that is their placement, but it's just a qualifier. You made me think that was the finals, right? When I saw that. We were talking about this before we went recording. So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious actually. Now I'm going to go down this rabbit hole because I'm really curious now. Did they do this for other qualifiers?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
it's just the graphic template.
I think they did. Yeah, it's just they use the same template each time. So
yeah, they just don't have one like custom build for the qualifiers and stuff.
So all of these top 16, they're going to have to
qualifiers, not playoffs.
Do the playoffs.
I know, but the 1s, 2, 3, and 4 is weird because, like,
he just got confused by the medals. He just saw gold and was like, "Oh."
Well, congrats. I mean, the medals are just like they're kind of moot, right? Because it's just like you get a top percentage that make top cuts or playoffs. It's like the day one graphics for Dracovis never have the medal next to it. Obviously, people be tied for first and stuff, but like it's just that the ones that go into it. But I guess they do. They are consistent.
It is seeded. Like first place does matter in that you do get supposedly easier opponents.
Yeah, I guess so.
Still, like I'm with you in a sense. I mean, like obviously, Pori deserves the flowers.
This is
I might just be misremembering too. They probably just
because this is like a standalone tournament.
Yeah. No, I get you. I think it's just you don't get anything for getting first. You don't get a medal. I think you get better.
Even if it's just
sure,
qualifying to the next round. Like this is a standalone tournament, right? You still get bragging rights.
Yeah.
You won this tournament.
I guess so. Yeah. True. I guess so. Is it under 2 different entries on Dracovis, like on the player profiles? It has to be, right?
I think so, yeah. They're 2 different tournament pages.
Yeah, it's 2 separate tournaments. It's like 2 different events.
Okay,
they can do different teams and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so true. All 16 of these players are going to be returning for the playoffs.
Yep.
Later, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And so
I
that's
want to see something
in a little while.
No, they only include the playoffs in the actual tournament pages, like on Dracovis profiles. Yeah, because I never seen a qualifier one. That's why I was like confused. Like it doesn't really matter, but I just like trying to figure out if this was consistent with what they did. Maybe it is. I think honestly, like I don't know. I personally think the medals are a little bit confusing for qualifiers. That's just me. I mean, because it's
Anyway.
again, you don't actually get any. It's just like anyone, all these people in the top 16 or whatever are going into the playoffs. You know,
It's
I think the
an
record next to it is already enough. But
it's an added layer of kind of confusion on top of the fact that we already we don't get to see these battles. We don't get we don't get any sort of sense of this region other than these graphics. So
I don't know. I don't. I'm curious what the Dracovis people that work on this actually think, but I think at this point, too,
if you're listening,
you're gonna have to ping him for this one.
Anacor's not listening.
He won't answer that either.
Yeah, he's ignoring that DM.
Anacor, if you're listening, write a comment down below in this video and be honest if someone suggested you listen to this rather than you actually just listen to it. Oh, I found this out the other day when I was streaming on YouTube. His username on YouTube is
Who is Josh?
No, it's Masta Pace, right? Masta and then Peice. And I was just like, hold up now. Did you mean to spell it that way, or did you misspell peace, like Masta Peace instead of Masta Pace? And he's like, bro, I honestly I made this account when I was like 13, and I honestly didn't realize I misspelled it until now. I was like, because he commented, he's like, oh, this is Anacore, by the way. I don't recall, but it also anyway all that he said was none of it was surprising to me. It was very Anacore on brand. Anyway, South Korea regional qualifiers. We're on a different tangent here. Charming Pori did sweep the whole tournament 7-0, 14-2 overall record, which is pretty impressive. So only dropping 2 games. Dude, RNX. Wait, is this the same?
No, different guy.
No.
And you'll notice there's another one in this tournament as well.
Yes.
Oh wait, there's another legend push there too.
There's PSNX.
Legend push.
And then further down there's HJNX.
No, but the guy that went to Worlds last year was RNX legend push.
RNX.
And he didn't. Okay, he didn't qualify.
Apparently, he doesn't play much anymore.
Yeah, that's different.
Oh, dang, he's on my friends list too.
So does anyone know what the letters mean?
I wonder if the gamer
regions?
tag is the gamer tag is the legend push part. You know how the gamer tag is usually the first part. It's the other way.
A big gamer tag.
That's why they only have letters before it, because they can't write anything too much else.
Yeah.
But
maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe they all just
I mean, possible.
It just so happens.
Maybe they RNX legend push already has a name for himself, and maybe they're like, oh wait, I wonder if the NX is something. NX is part of the tag. NX legend push. Mm-hmm. So it's just the first letters, or maybe they're like initials. Maybe.
Yeah. PS.
HJ. HJ.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
South Korean players.
Yeah.
I think you're right. They're all NX legend push.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought it was the same player, but it wasn't. But this is kind of crazy too. Second place. What the freaking Florges? What in the world?
And Emolga?
Yeah.
I mean, forget the Emolga. I mean, Emolga, it doesn't even seem that spicy anymore, right? Next to the Florges. But Emolga is also, kind of hard to pilot as well.
Yeah, but we never see it. Yeah, it's not real.
Yeah. I think we saw it in some, Latin tournaments, right?
Well, it was in Actually, you might be right. So I was going to say it was in Vancouver. No, it was in the halfway meta. That was in LATAM as well.
Yes.
So it hasn't actually shown up, I don't think, with a big success since then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fair. Well, but until now.
Okay, you saw the Florges, but also third place was running Lucario.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy too.
Goji qualified for Worlds last year. Last year they won. Yeah, they won last year's South Korea playoffs. And apparently still killing it with Lucario. So I'm sure Trainer M's out there cheering his head.
No, actually, what's crazy if you look at the record is that Goji 2-0'd everyone, and then sorry. That math doesn't always necessarily work out. No, it does.
There's a 2-1 in there.
No. It has to be he 2-0'd everyone, and then sorry, you're right. Wait, what? How does he?
He
Oh,
got
yeah, you're
6
right.
wins. 6 wins
yeah,
is
yeah.
12
Yeah.
battle wins because 2
Right,
and then
never mind,
he's
never
got
mind,
3
never mind.
losses.
I'm getting myself confused.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
Math
he
is
couldn't have,
really
he
hard,
couldn't have,
Caleb.
no, because I was like, he couldn't have gone 0-3, right? So he had to have lost had at least like 1-2-1 there, maybe.
Yeah.
Where's the human calculator when you need him?
That's 3 Anacore references in the span of 5 minutes is kind of crazy. Yeah. Anyway, wild meta here. Azuma's still number 1 though, and then Shadow Drapion number 2 at 56%, and the Clodsire at 50%. Clodsire is interesting. I do think Clodsire is very strong in this meta because there's like a lack of Diggersby. There's 2 Diggersby in the 1 and 2, but I think that's like pretty unique. Well, I guess there was.
Well, there's a lack of Diggersby and like
Mudslappers.
a lack of Mudslappers in general. Like I know Claydol is getting popular, but like that is like the only one really because Shadow Kanto Marowak has almost fallen out of the meta, except it was on Goji's team, but like no one else, and in no other tournaments we've really seen it popping up as much. So it makes sense. It makes sense
hard
for
to use right
to
now.
like be kind of creeping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Clodsire, also depending on the move, like you beat Cradily, you have depending on your moveset, you can beat a Azumarill if you're running the Sludge Bomb or like this, and then either way, you're gonna beat like Jumpluff, Stone Edge is nice for Talonflame. You're decent into Drapion. Like it has some good matchups into a lot of the main meta for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of at least in India, it seemed like most of them were running Stone Edge instead of Sludge Bomb, but there was certainly a mix up between the two. And so, like, I don't know. I haven't looked at the South Korean ones, but maybe it's a lot of Sludge Bomb. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Stone Edge for the Lapras matchup itself is like pretty solid, right? Because Lapras is like generally a counter for it too, and it's not terrible into Zero without Sludge Bomb. It's just not as great, and then obviously Jumpluff is more or less the same.
Yeah.
So, anyway, interesting stuff. We'll see how these players take it in the playoffs.
Yeah. Actually, only one other thing of note, I guess, is that Mung Me in that top 6 is Sejun Park. It's legend of every other Pokemon format, also hanging out here in.
That's crazy. I mean, he is a gamer, so
yeah.
Did he declare what he wants to do this year at Worlds? I guess depending on how he qualifies.
Unclear.
Yeah, I think if he does Go, because he's never competing Go. He's qualified for Go though. But he hasn't competed.
Did he qualify?
Yeah.
Or did he get close? Oh.
No, he qualified in 2022 for London.
Oh.
He's
It's actually even harder back then.
But I think he played.
Well, I guess it's always been hard for APAC region. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and I think he played TCG in 2023 in Japan.
Unite, I'm pretty sure.
And then he did VGC last year.
Oh yeah.
So. So we'll see. Hey, maybe it is Go then, because he's got to rotate through all 4, right?
Yeah. I did shoot him a message to see if he wanted to share his footage. He didn't respond.
Oh, it's also cool that
you just got to shoot,
You never know.
It's also cool that Yetaruna, because she just went to Brisbane.
Yeah. It's the same team, right?
Yeah.
No.
No. It's not the
Whimsicott
exact same team.
Okay.
I think everything. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think Whimsicott is the only thing that changed because I definitely remember the Double Water and Ariados and Morpeko. Like I remember those 4. Yeah, as being really weird. Like when she went to Brisbane, but yeah, very cool.
Whimsicott,
Double Water strat apparently going places.
Yeah, Whimsicott is hard to use too. It is not. I tried using it in some scrims. It is not fun to use. Yeah, but okay. So that does it for our championship series. Best of luck to our Korean qualified players. Should we make a community bet for
I'm
prediction?
Ready.
This is for May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You guys are all ready? Are you ready, Steve?
Not quite. I mean, I can be ready pretty quick. I know exactly where I'm going. Hang on. Pokedex. I'm pretty confident in where to shoot.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But I just need to.
So the question is, how confident is Caleb feeling?
Wait, when's the next one again?
I
When's
mean, he
the
doesn't
actual
need to be
community day?
confident. He can be wrong and still get points.
It's insane. He can be so very wrong, and yet still somehow
And still get the
some way,
same amount of points as me, who's totally neutral.
insane. It's not fair.
It's not fair. When you were asking when?
Yes, when?
I don't know.
It's like the end of the month.
I want.
It's like the 20-somethingth.
Okay. Who won? It was me and Cass that won that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we both shared a point.
Oh wait, this is a classic. There's a
Oh.
May Community Classic.
When's the normal guy?
No, there's
I
a
don't know.
regular
Let's just make the
May
prediction for the regular one because the classic.
Yeah. Skip.
There's
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
be a
yeah.
regular one too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we made predictions for April, which we know is the Vanillite or whatever, and then there's like a classic at the end of April, right? And then we have
Okay.
May.
Look, I'm ready to predict.
So are we predicting the classic then?
Nah, regular.
Oh, the regular. No, yeah,
No,
I'm
the
totally ready for
regular.
Oh,
regular.
sorry. I was looking at the classic list. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay. I just need to figure out what this thing is called.
For
Do you
the,
want- I
for
mean,
the regular?
The other three of
What?
us are locked, right?
Oh, okay.
So,
No. I got it.
describe
I just
it.
couldn't remember it. Okay. All right. I'm ready to go. All right.
Wait, are we typing it in?
Yeah, with full send in 3, 2,
Oh wait, has everyone typed it?
Yeah, I got it.
1, go.
Oh.
All right. So me and Cass put Quaxley.
Yeah.
C put Sewaddle.
Oh.
Sewaddle.
Oh.
Were
hang
you
on a minute.
guessing for the classic?
Wait a minute.
Wait, because Sewaddle already had a community day,
Yeah.
Did it? Oh, I'm just
Yes,
dumb.
Steve.
Oh, I'm actually just
Tristan put
dumb.
Palma, which was what he put
Has-
last time, which is fine.
Has Venipede had
I'm
one
locking
yet?
it in again.
No.
Okay, just put me in for Venipede,
Okay.
I guess.
Whoa! You already locked it for Sewaddle. What you talking
No.
about?
Listen. It's a similar typing.
Yeah,
I went
situation.
It's
Like
fine.
it'll be fine. It'll be
That's
fine.
fine. It's not gonna be Venipede.
Yeah. It's not.
Should-
It's not.
I should
Okay,
maybe
I
technically
think I might have
call
goofed this
me. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know if we're saying the final or first stage, but
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I get you.
We
Yeah,
get it.
the whatever
It's
the
fine, it's
evolution
fine.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How often is it usually the starters?
you know, what'd be funny is it if
Well, it does go back and forth.
Yeah,
between.
because we had like Vanillite is the one that's coming up, but the
Yeah.
one we had right before it was was the Fuecoco.
Has it been every
So-
second up till now?
If the pattern holds, I suspect.
See,
strongly.
I feel good about being on the same page as Kat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't feel good about you guys being on the same page.
That should make you and Tristan very nervous.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
this-
you know, like those ice skaters, right? They're like super aerodynamic. I'm like the person right behind her to like catch the aerodynamic, like the
Literally,
gist, right?
when I was roller skating this past weekend, that's what my friend like was telling me, like as I was sort of going around the rink like this, like just looking at my feet. She was like, "No, you got to just get behind
Yeah, get
someone
by
who's
someone, yeah.
confident,
Yeah, 'cause
and then follow them."
they're taking all the the friction of the air and stuff, and it's what is it? It's not drifting. It's what's it called? It's I don't know. I do this a lot, and you can do it in Mario Kart actually. So
Yeah.
you do move faster
Oh,
behind someone.
Tailgating.
Yeah.
What's the? I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh my god.
Well, we'll think of it while Professor
Yeah.
Tristan does his thing. But we do have Professor Tristan, so take it away.
I just want to add, I think it would be really funny if Steve would have gotten more points with whatever he guessed before he changed to Venipede.
See what?
I'm like secretly hoping that happens just because it would be fun.
Dude.
Right.
If like even though
Please
let it
Swaddle's
happen.
wrong, it would have gotten him more.
It's
points.
gonna be Paris. It's gonna be Paris, and it has the same typing as Swaddle.
Like just the generation is right.
Wait, still got bug typing, right? Still got bug typing. I still got Venipede.
Yeah, but that's less
as long as it's
points
not a
than-
grass
than
type from
Swaddle
another
would have.
generation.
Yeah, but you'd be only
Yeah.
getting half the points.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, what if it is a grass type?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey,
that could be-
sometimes all you need is that 1 point. That's what got me and Caleb ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
It's
I
called
give
it's called
Kaz full credit.
drafting.
True.
Drafting is what it's called.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, that isn't what I thought at all.
That's not
Yeah.
what I thought either. But okay,
I thought that, but then I was like, oh, it's too close to drifting. There's no way that's close.
It's drifting and drafting. Okay, let's go down to Professor Tristan. What you got?
All right, so this is going to be a little bit different. Because we're sort of still waiting for the meta to settle, I don't have as many like specific like move changes, but I have some like I want to go through over the the next several Professor Tristans, some ideas I have for new moves that I think would be good additions to the game to add some additional balance. So the first move I have is going to be Shockwave as an electric type charge attack. Because I think that electric types in general sort of struggle right now, and most electric types need wild charge or they're not that good. So having some more variety of good electric type charge moves I think would be healthy. Because besides a wild charge, they're all kind of in a bad spot, and a lot of them can't really be buffed because of other things they're on. Like you can't really buff Thunderbolt or Thunder because of like Lantern, for example. So I think that Shockwave as like a cheap electric charge move, like 35 or 40 energy with some decent power, like either like maybe 60 damage, 35 energy, or like 65 to 70 damage at 40 energy, I think would be a good spot to help improve some additional electric types. And I think it also could be a coverage move for some other non-stab users as well.
What would get it?
I don't have like specific things off the top of my head, but it has a pretty big distribution. So let me look this up again because it's been a while
Claydol.
since I looked at this. Obviously.
That's what Claydol needs. More coverage, more moves for the TM
so
machine.
Shockwave.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't won one yet, right?
Shockwave can be learned by things like Electabuzz, Manectric, Electivire, Zebstrika, Emolga, Thundurus, Tapu Koko, Xurkitree, Toxtricity, Regieleki, Sheik's family, and then a bunch of like random non-stab users, like things like Alolan Raticate can learn it, Nidoqueen, Nidoking, Clefable, Alolan Graveler, Alolan Golem, Magneton, like Alolan Grimer, Alolan Muck. Not that I'm saying these things should learn it, but just there's a lot of options here. Things like Weezing, Tangela. I don't think it needs it, but like Lapras could learn it. I wouldn't suggest that because I think Lapras is in a good spot right now, but like just another example of something that could learn it. Dragonite, Mew, Mewtwo, Furret, Ampharos, Girafarig, Dunsparce, Quillfish, Linoon.
Oh yeah, Linoon buff incoming.
Swalot,
sure?
Grumpig, Zangoose, Banette, Jirachi, Bibarel, Bastiodon, Driftblim. Like there's so many things that can learn it. I'm not going to list them all off because we'll be here for a while. But the thing is, there's a big variety in terms of both electric type users as well as like non-stab users that could use some electric coverage. There's a lot of different ways you could go. Obviously, some of those like we don't need to give it to Lapras, but there's definitely a lot of other things that can learn it, like Heliolisk as well, or like Galgi.
Okay, that could be a good one. Hopefully, people at Niantic / down the road Scopely are tuning in to some of these thoughts. Okay, let's head over to the T topic, and this was I'll have someone else break it down for us because I haven't even taken a look at this task yet. But there's a show, Shiny Meloetta Master Research.
Okay, so the thing is, it's a masterwork research for a shiny mythical Pokemon. So there's obviously going to be a lot that you have to do, right? And I think everyone's pretty used to getting stuck for a certain amount of time, like, oh, you have to catch a Pokemon on 21 different days. Well, not only do you have to get stuck on that once, but thrice in this research. It is part of, slowing you down. But the thing that I think people are more upset about is the fact that someone did finally get to stage 4 out of 7 of the research. That's, I think, the farthest that anyone has, gotten so far.
Can mathematically get
So far. So someone got there, and there is another step that is catch 100 Pokemon while in a party, which rightfully got quite a few players a little upset, because most people on average are not participating in parties outside of very large events like the Go Tours, like the Go Fest, that sort of thing. So this is kind of like,
I mean, some people don't even have like a local community to play with at all. So like some people, and then on top of that, there's also there's also earned the Platinum Idol medal, which means you need to get 20 best friends as well. And so I think like the general frustration here is that people paid for a ticket, and like, again, like Kaz said, I think people are expecting these tasks to be hard, to take a while, but not knowing exactly what the tasks are up front. Like some people might not have any best friends just based on their play style or who they know that plays the game, right? So getting 20 best friends could be hard for some people. Playing in a party could be hard for some people, because some people might not have anyone near them that plays the game. So like, I think some frustration on like, I paid for this thing, but now I might not be able to complete it because there was no transparency up front about what types of tasks are going to be in this research. I also noticed on step 3, there's a earn the bronze showcase star medal. I don't know how many you need for that, but I think that involves winning a certain number of showcases, which is also very challenging for a lot of people, depending where you live.
Sure.
So
I
like,
again, one in my area.
Don't think.
Well, the guys that don't have locals are going to have a much easier time at showcases, so everyone's winning.
And the other thing about Masterwork Research is like, no one expects to be done with it very quickly, but like, I think that most people do at least expect to be able to complete the tasks themselves. It's special research, it's not timed, so at least there's no limit on how long it takes you. But traditionally, all of the special research is stuff that you can do by yourself in some way or another. A lot of this seems to rely on people being in a very strong community. And like, I am fortunate to live in a place that does have a lot of Pokestops. I do know trainers in my area, but we don't meet up to play like super regularly every day. It's just, again, it's something that is restricted to kind of like more special events that happen in the game that bring people together with a purpose. This just seems to kind of like,
dude, this is only step 4 of 7 too.
I know, right? I can only imagine as the other steps are revealed later how much worse it can get.
I heard how this actually happened, actually. So someone at Niantic higher ups went to one of the devs and was like, hey, a lot of people are complaining that these master research are too easy. So the guy was like, hold my beer, and they made this one. I'm just kidding. That didn't actually happen, but maybe it did. I don't know.
Seems likely. It doesn't seem outside.
As soon as I know how this happened, it came out of your mouth, like I believed you for a second, and then I went, nah. There's no whatever he's about to say next.
And then you heard who was saying it, and you were like, nah.
Let's take it back. But Caleb's actually going to be a lucky guy, because bronze showcase medal, you only need 1 win. Caleb's done it. Congrats.
I'm in it now, and I just have to do the party challenge, which still takes forever. But
yeah, I mean,
look, I guess this is a bronze showcase medal is not the worst. I will say that, right? Mm-hmm. I don't personally hate it too much, but it is a little bit the party thing is a little bit annoying, right? It does force you to have to play with others, but I guess it's like
Ew, gross.
It's not the fact that it forces you to play with others. It forces you to like consciously find people to play with. Like you have to not only make a plan to meet up with people, but like you have to actually remember to do the party stuff, you know, which is just like there's a lot of things in this game that I just generally forget to do. Forget that there is an option.
Wait, so this research is live already, right?
Yep.
Yeah. There's people. I think I'm still on like stage 1. So
Again,
this is I've got a, I guess, pushback take.
Yes, it was a paid ticket,
research.
which that's the other facet of why people are upset, because a lot of people legitimately feel like I might not have bought this if I realized that it was going to like actually throw a wrench in how I play the game. You know, if I wasn't going to be able to like complete it myself within a reasonable amount of time, you know?
I don't know. So I've got, I guess, a pro Niantic take here in a sense, in that like, well, first of all, obviously, like I'm not someone that does party play. I haven't even finished the party play special research. Like I think I'm still on the stage 4, maybe. Like I've attacked it a few times, but it's not something that I like particularly, love doing. And the main reason that I don't do it is because my phone charge goes down a little bit faster when it is active. So it's not a feature that I participate in. At the same time, I think it's fine that they throw this sort of thing into the special research. Now, obviously, we as just people, we don't want to have to do anything that we don't want to do. We want to like do exactly what we do already and get rewarded for it. We don't want to have to bother trying for this research. Like, I think Kaz, you're probably in a similar boat to me and many people in that, like for that first stage, we have to catch 135 Hoenn Pokemon. I didn't go out looking for Hoenn Pokemon. I was just like, eventually I'll tick this off.
Yeah.
And so I just want to, eventually get there by doing what I already do.
I'll get there when I get there.
Generally, I feel like it's sort of fine for these big sort of, supposed to be a little bit stockier research lines to take a bit of effort. Now, and so like when it comes to someone that's in like Kaz's position, for example, like, you reasonably can tick this off. Like you can, it is effort, but you can catch 100 Pokemon all in a party. And I'm in the same boat again. Like I'm going to have to actually make effort to do it, which is like, but like, I think that's fine. I think the legitimate criticism that I would actually argue most people that talk about this online are not the people that are in this particular boat. It's sort of, talking about other people like, oh, what about this person? And the reasonable criticism is what about people that don't have other people around them that, can't play in a party? And I guess like my question is, doesn't trade a Pokemon constantly come up as well? I mean, like this isn't new, right? In that like I
feel like trade a Pokemon comes up more often as kind of a spin stop task that you can throw away if you can't do that reliably, which I regularly do because I'm like, I don't know the next time I'm going to meet up with someone for trades, and I'd rather get like a research that I, can complete and want the reward from. Trading Pokemon, I feel like I haven't seen in special research in a while.
There was one like really, really recently because I only just ticked off trade 3 Pokemon like a week ago, and I was like way behind the curve.
Was it something for like Unova or maybe the Might and Mastery seasonal?
It might have been Might and Mastery seasonal, but like I know it was in the special research, and I know like I barely ticked it off because again, it's not something that I do often, but that like. This keeps coming up. I actually strongly believe that you don't hear that same outrage whenever Trade a Pokemon comes up because it doesn't affect the people that would just need to put in more effort. The people that are complaining are people that need to put more effort, like that are being forced to put more effort in and don't want to put more effort in, which, and what is happening is that they're just, using a scapegoat of like, oh no, what about the rural players that like, I think many of us bring up rural players a lot, and it's a very, very important part of the game. It's a very real community of people. But I think that people are using them as a weapon to complain as opposed to actually being considerate about those people. They don't, like, I maybe this is a hot take, but I think that most people complaining about party play they don't care about the rural players. They care about themselves. And that's, I don't know. Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's not. But I'm a little indifferent.
I think that's a.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a valid take. I'm maybe in the minority here because like the party play doesn't bother me personally. Like it's not that hard to do, but like I see how it's an inconvenience. But like I do genuinely feel bad for other people who these steps might be difficult. I guess my biggest gripe with it in general is just like the fact that people are paying for something and don't know what's sort of being asked of them up front, whether they're going to be able to complete it at all or in a semi-reasonable manner, is sort of where it comes down.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because again, this is a paid thing, and people are like, "Oh, if I pay for this, I'm going to get shiny Meloetta and all these other rewards." But like, are they going to be able to finish it or not? And like, yeah, you're probably right that most players will. It just might take them a while or may need them to put in a little more effort. But like, again, it just comes down to like some of these tasks. Not everyone. Again, like only winning one showcase isn't too bad, but like depending where you live, winning showcases is really hard if you're in like a big city or somewhere that has, I don't know, a lot of spoofers or something, right? And then like I said, like getting 20 best friends isn't hard for most of us, but it could be challenging for other people. I know in the past there's been tasks like get, I don't know what it is, like 10 or 20, maybe 10 like best buddies or something, which again, some people already have like 100 best buddies, but other people might have one. So like not all tasks are the same difficulty for everyone, but like just having that like awareness up front of like, is this doable for me personally? Is this something that I think I can reasonably do? Or like, would I rather save my money? Because it seems like you could be in a feels bad scenario if you spent money on this thing and then you get to this step and you're like, oh crap. That's just, I don't know. That's sort of where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I personally don't actually mind it too much, but that's just me. I know like some people might be upset with it, but I actually don't. I'm kind of on the same page as Steve. I will say if there's like a refund policy with Niantic on these tickets, I think that would make people feel better in the sense that like as long as you don't claim a reward or like any of the rewards on the research, you should be able to get a refund. I think that'd be nice, right? If people really have like buyer's remorse, then they could just refund it. Like most products that you buy, right? Obviously, mobile app in-game purchases are a little bit different than buying something off like Amazon, but still, I think like as long as you don't claim any of the rewards, maybe that should be a thing they implement. I don't know. I personally am still more annoyed that you have paid stuff that expire. Like the fact that this doesn't expire is like okay.
That's what makes me not care.
To me, like I can sort of guess what people like. I can see what people are complaining about online, and I can like have my own frustrations with it. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's special research that's not going anywhere until it's done. So it's like whatever. I'll get there when I get there. You know.
Do you need shiny Meloetta today? I don't. I'll get it when I get it.
I would like a better one to see if I should dump my rare candy.
I would like a better one than I currently have.
For sure. Okay, let's just quickly go through some of the YouTube comments because I know we're a little bit behind on some of these comments. This is Steve on one of the previous episodes said, Steve says, don't remember if you talked about it this episode or last, but Pancham has been available for a while as a rare daily incense spawn, so it technically has been available with PPIVs without trading all the time, just super rare. That's a really good point. And I do spend my daily incense, not daily, but fairly often, and I haven't seen it personally. And if I did, I probably just appraised it and transferred it, not thinking twice. So it's possible I've seen it. But some other comments: Chris Gorge, yeah, Goerge says, do some research. We all knew Pichus were not going to be remote raidable. Oh, I did not know that. Not all of us, some of us, but I wouldn't say we all knew. But appreciate the input there. So I guess they weren't remote raidable for the sorry Pichus. Is that what Chris is saying?
I didn't know that. Because I don't think that was a realization in that in that thinger, right? It wasn't like you talking about the Pokemon Day Pikachu's, was it?
No, I think no. It wasn't this one. This was like a more recent
Okay.
episode. It was. I think it's probably related to the Sorry Pikachu's.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It's
I mean,
some Pikachu event. I personally, I don't know. Anyway,
I didn't try rating for it, but I would have
Yeah.
thought that they were remote
Yeah,
rateable
there's
because
too
past
many
ones.
costume Pikachu's that I. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
just so many costumes
know
at this
which one's
point
which.
that it's hard to keep up personally.
all right. T. Wassell says he's also ready to guess for May. That's fine because he went
We'll
the
see.
Palmont route.
We'll
the
see
funnier
how ready-
it would have been funnier if he said that and then he wrote down Sewaddle, right? But it was Steve that went that route.
Yeah.
And then Horner says, with Protect being a move in the main series game, I always saw the shields as a fourth move in Pokemon Go PvP.
Yeah.
Okay.
One fast move, two charge moves. Protect.
I guess that is fair.
That's
that is
valid.
fair. Okay, and then and then I don't know if there's any Gen comments, but let me just take one quick gander if there is. Wait, Jen's going to be at the tournament, right? In Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
she's.
All right.
I told her that you immediately were like, "Oh, you and Jen? Let me get in that car."
Yeah, you're gonna have to introduce Jen to me because I don't know what she looks like. So,
Well, yeah.
But that does happen once in a while where people are like, "Oh, hey, Caleb." I'm like, "I don't know who you are." Like,
I don't know who you are.
I was like, I might know who you are, but I don't know what your face looks like. So,
You
I
guys
think
gonna
that
have
actually
to.
happened the first time I met House Dark in person. Like he was like, "Oh, hey, Kaz," and I was like, "Hi."
And you are.
no one knows who Stark is.
Were you?
Sorry.
That or if someone introduces themselves with their
okay.
like IRL name and you're like, who are you? Like, what's your in-game name? Have I met you?
Like,
Josh.
We don't use
Josh.
those here. Yeah.
All right. So a few comments from Jen on the
Yeah.
Cordelia meta episode. Secret bird, secret feathers. It's Cordelia, right?
Yeah. She's making a reference to all of our secret
Yeah.
birds.
Strong in the sea, strong in the air.
We know what that one is.
We've heard that one.
It's a reference. It's a deep cut reference to me and Jen playing Wingspan, and not
We
even
went over this
our
before.
games with each other, but my games with someone else. The very first time I played Wingspan.
Yeah, this is too deep for me.
We know
to
Caleb
understand
doesn't
right
have.
I'm
Yeah,
still
it's
lost.
true, it's true. The important thing is that Josh and Tristan get it, and that's
yeah.
a
The
majority.
majority gets it. I'm not
Was this been
disputing
covered
that
in
it
the
happened. I
past
just-
comments?
there's a lot that happened in the past that I don't fully recall.
Something great tits.
Oh yes. Okay.
What happened to that steel
General
trap?
says, "Oh my God, Jen
It's not
comments."
working so good anymore.
Well, steel trap for what I remember. If I don't remember that I forgot it, then
If I never put it
steel
in the
trap.
chest,
Yeah,
then it's
look,
never gonna be.
if there's a hole in the steel trap, if I don't know the hole is there, then to me it's still a steel trap. Anyway, Jen says, "Oh my God, Jen comments before YouTube comments." Yeah, we flipped it around this time around, but hey, we
Okay, well,
got
now you
balanced things
know.
out a bit. And then it says, "I do regret not watching YouTube for the cat content." And then also says in the most recent episode, "Can I be a guest judge? Jingle debut at Atlanta tournament." Oh man.
Yeah, you guys do that.
If only we had remembered to do it, Jen. But maybe you'll get a preview in the car this weekend.
Should we do it for next week? Is that too much? Maybe next week, because I'm about to break out the guitar and everything, So.
I want to sleep for like a whole day after this weekend. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do any homework.
Yeah, I will be recording the next episode in Atlanta, but we will have that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well that does it for our comments. Thank you all for tuning in per usual, and that's going to wrap it up for us. Best of luck to everyone competing in Atlanta, including our two co-hosts.
Please,
Kaz
Arceus, give me insight for what team to use.
It's going to be a
Bastiodon.
big tournament. I'm curious also to see if they continue with the TCG Pocket side events, because I heard that seemed cool last time around. And I'm curious if they grow that a bit, but
they do have a calendar.
Yeah,
up
that was fun.
Somewhere,
That was fun.
but I
of
don't-
the events.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of the side events.
Tristan, what were you
The
gonna
side
say?
events, yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if I'm going to end up running it or not, but I am looking at Shadow Swampert as a bit of a core breaker right now. I think could be interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Worked for
I
Yetteruna.
was gonna say Yetteruna brought
Or-
it twice.
Talonflame is
She brought the
popular.
non-shadow, though.
Clodsire, Alolan
Yeah.
Sandslash.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the
she had the shadow
better
for
do
alligator
Zero
and
is the big
non-shadow
thing.
Swampert.
The what do you call it? I do think that the sludge is a lot more consistent sludge wave Swampert too, right? So
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
Mhm.
it is kind of
Super.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about the
Well,
pacing
and the
on it
thing
compared
is,
to old
I was
Swampert,
looking
but
at it, and true. I was looking at it though, and like you can win the 1-0 and 2-1 shields against like Cradily and Jumpluff, which is kind of handy too. Like up a shield, you can beat the two main
So
grasses in the meta, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
Hey, it was
Well.
good enough to come top 8 in Brisbane and then top 8 in South
I don't
Korea
know if
straight
I'll
back to
go
back.
through with it or not. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go through with it or not, but it's something I'm looking at right now as a potential team option.
Yeah.
And how many team options have you made for yourself?
I don't know. Too many,
Sounds like
but
less
also
than you,
not
Kaz.
enough.
Secrets don't make friends, Tristan.
Yeah.
Look, we know he's running Xerneas.
My secret pick is Bastion, but we'll see.
How many
I'll wait
locals
for that
have I
cast of
been
picks
to? Because I've
graphic.
run a different team at every local.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Anyway, well, hopefully we do actually have over 200 players. That'll be a fun one, and I'm glad I'm not competing at it because I don't want that much competition for myself. But.
Shut up.
But no, this is actually really good too because if there's a big turnout, I don't know how it'll be for the other games, but probably pretty big too, right? Because it's also I think Congress Center is pretty massive. If it's a big turnout, we might have Atlanta Part 2 next season. You know, they just keep bringing it back because it's like, hey, this was quite a successful event. Why not? You know, and I think it's a little bit easier to fly to than, let's say, like Orlando. But
yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, best luck to everyone competing, and until next time, we'll catch you all later. Peace out.